up, everybody? Welcome to Inside Hollywood. I'm your host, Jazzie Belle, and today we have an amazing show because my guest is the hardest working man in show business. You probably know him from seeing in a film called Get Out, Bird Box, oh my God, Judas and the Black Messiah, The Photograph, and he has a new film coming out called Bad Trip with Tiffany Haddish. I am here with a brother that keeps a job. Say hello to comedian and actor and Chicago's own Lil Rel. How are you, Rel?
What it do? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be here with you today so we could chop it up.
This is fun. I enjoy, you're one of my favorite interviewers, so this is cool.
Woo, let's do it. Okay, so Rel, you know, with Inside Hollywood, the whole premise of this show is to inspire people to never give up and to go after their dreams. And I created this in the wake of the pandemic because we're facing the worst adversity the world has ever seen. So people need inspiration now more than ever. So your journey is so important to me and to the people. So let's get right to it. Now, I did hear the story already about how you got your name. I wasn't even going to ask, but just in case my audience don't know, please tell us how you got Lil Rel.
Lil Rel was a nickname I got in high school, playing basketball. I was trying out for the Frost Soft team, and I was balling. And my cousin played on the varsity team. His name is Darrell. And one of the seniors was like, "Yo, who's dude?" They was like, "Oh, that's Darrell cousin." He was like, "Yo, what's up, Lil Rel?" I'm like, "Nah, my name is Milton." He's like, "What's up, Lil Rel?" I was like, "All right." And that's the thing about it was, if somebody really popular, especially if they was a senior, he's captain of the basketball team. My man Lewis Johnson gave me the nickname, so shout out to Lou. But that's what stuck with me. It almost took on its own personality. And my freshman year of high school was lit. Like I had I could have left after my freshman year. Man, it was so lit. It was crazy. But shout out to Lewis Johnson. I just kept, the Lil Rel persona. Just kept it. Like, all right, that's what it is.
Is Lewis L. Johnson still around? And what's up with Big Rel, Darrell? Where are they now?
Darrell is still in Chicago. It's my cousin. Shout out to Lil Rel Howery. And Lou's still in great shape, man. This dude's still hooping.
Okay. No, so backstory. Because I feel like when people really tap into their talents, I always wonder, when did you realize, you know what? I'm kind of funny. Like, I could do this. When did that hit you? At what point?
Early on. I mean, I've always thought I was funny because I love comedy. I'm such a student of just comedy in general.
Yeah.
And then movies and TV. I'm like my son is like that. Little Judah he's like a 20 times version of that. What I was like. I always tell him that, like, if I knew you was a kid, you would be like my best friend because he loves filming TV like I do. We engulf in it. Yeah. And I just like Eddie Murphy really changed the game as far as my humor goes. Like once I saw Delirious, I'm like, yo, I got to do stand-up, man. And just the way he would act out characters and, it's like the style he does is the same style I have as storytelling, acting out the characters in the story. And like, it's just, comedy. Once you get that comedy bug, it don't. And then I did like a play in high school my senior year, and a teacher let me write my own lines and stuff. And I went to a hood high school, so like, they heckled everybody. You know what I mean? So like,
right.
You ain't bring it, you definitely was gonna get booed or cursed out.
Mm-hmm.
And but that first big roar of laughter came from that audience, and it changed my life because I was addicted to it after that. I'm like, I want to hear this a lot. I want to hear that roar of laughter as much as I can. And that's when I was like, right after high school, I'm doing stand-up.
You was following that rush. What was the joke when you got that big roar? Do you remember what the joke was?
I don't remember what the joke. I mean, it was a line I said. Oh, what was it though? It might have been bang, 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 ski, ski, ski. But it was just because it was for no reason. I just threw that in there, and it's so interesting because now that I think about that, that is where my acting style of improv come from. Is really started in high school. I knew how to button stuff up. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that's my skill set with everything I do now.
Mm-hmm. Now you said after high school is when you did your stand-up. You started going into that circuit. When was your first stand-up? Take me there.
Well, the first time I performed stand-up comedy was at a place called the Lion's Den in Chicago. And at the time, it's so funny when you first start out, all those places look huge, like almost like theaters to you. And I remember going back maybe like a couple years ago, like I was nervous at this little tiny spot. Spot was like no bigger than this little corner over here. And I was like nervous, you know what I mean? But yeah, I started in the Lion's Den. I mean, what I did was when I was in high school, the Chicago Sun-Times, every Friday would put out these Weekend Plus little small newspapers that had a list of entertainment things. So they had a list of comedy clubs. So I would I've been looking at this thing since I was like 15. So like, I was like, all right, as soon as I get out of high school, I'm gonna show up at one of these places. So I used to have to show up really early too, like, cause I was young, I was like 18. So like, I'd be like helping them set up the place. They wouldn't ask anything. So they would look for my ID, you know what I mean? So if I'm already there like early helping them put everything together, they just thought I worked there.
Right. Right. They like, well, shit, he's here. He's helping us clean tables and wiping down windows. Why not?
Nobody ever asked what I think about it. Like, nobody like, hey man, this brother work here? They just let me just do, I was just doing stuff. And when I was done, I just sat there and waited for the show. Yeah, that's how I got to the comedy clubs at first.
Okay, now talk to me about, because Get Out, that was your breakout role. How did you acquire that role for the people out there that's wondering?
You know, well, a couple of things happened. Jordan told me about it at a party. We was at that Steven Spielberg night before party he throws. And we was just standing there talking. He's like, yeah, man, you know, I wrote a horror film. I'm like, oh, good for you, brother. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of was like, yeah, all right, bro. Like, you wrote a horror film. Come on, the Key and Peele guy. And when he started describing it, and the way he was talking about it, I'm like, oh, this is serious business. And he was just like, yo, I think I have something for you. I'm like, all right, cool. And I did the regular process. I auditioned. But this is the thing about it. When I received the script from my agent, it felt like it was written for me. Like I'm not making this up. Like the way they described the character, the way the lines was written, I was like, why does it sound like me? Is this me? And you know, I fast forward, I found out Jordan did have me in mind when he was writing it. You know, I didn't know that, but I was like, yo, if I don't book this, I am a terrible actor. This is not like me. You know what I mean? Like, and I have friends, we all were going after the same part. And I'm like, I wasn't trying to be like that, but I'm like, fam, I think this is mine, yo.
Don't waste the time, brother.
Yeah, you might as well go ahead and leave, bro. I think this is me. And then that's how I booked. I came in for the callback. The scene me and Jordan read together was the original ending that didn't, unless you go to YouTube, you can see the original ending is when he, Daniel's character goes to jail and we just sitting there and we talking. So the comedy part we knew we could do. So when we did that emotional scene, because it was very emotional. Even when we shot it, I think all of us had to take a walk just to be in that headspace of just being black. And it was a lot at the time. It was really heavy, which is why he changed it. And we did that scene. And I just remember just being quiet in the room. And I go outside, I'm waiting on my Uber. Jordan comes out and he's like, look, I know I ain't supposed to do this, but I'm going to offer you this. Wow. I'm like, for real? And I remember he go back in and I just started walking. Like, I don't even know where I was at. I was just walking. And this is a true story. I was walking and I was praising God the whole time. And I just started crying. And it was weird. I didn't know why I was first of all, we didn't know this movie, but it was just I don't know what I thought. I don't know what it was about that moment. It was just something, I'm like, I don't know what this movie, are they gonna let us do this? We're gonna kill these white people. Let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's gonna happen, but some really was in my soul and my spirit, just telling me that this is gonna be something special, and it ended up being something really special. It was, that week of shooting, I shot in 1 week.
Really?
Yeah, it was only like I think they did 20-something days. That's it, that whole movie, and not a huge budget. Most of the stuff we got was the back end points, but then they ended up making all this money. So it's like, shibbity double.
Okay.
that was, but none of us knew. I remember when we reshot the ending and we were all hanging out at the hotel and we was just as shocked how good the trailer did. Like, yo, is this about to be a thing? We didn't know. We were just
anything.
It was just it was a well-written. I remember the first time I watched it and I was at the crib like, is it just good to me? Because I'm in it. Like, but this is a good movie, right? Yeah, but yo, it ended up being something really special, man. Shout out to Jordan Peele, man. He's a brilliant, brilliant dude. He let me shine. I remember he called me. He literally called me after I think he did the first cut. Was like, hey man, get ready, man, and know your price. I'm like, what you mean? He's like, bro, just come out. You'll see. I'm like, all right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Who was the first person you called with the good news?
Weirdly enough, and this is why we was whole divorce. It was my ex-wife. Because I'm like, I don't have anybody to call. And she's like, oh, that's nice.
That's nice.
I'm like, I ain't know who to call. Like, I don't know who to tell this to, but that's who I call. And once again, and this with the idea of not knowing what this, I remember telling her, like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. And I still didn't have any idea, which is why I love when God blows my mind. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know. And then when we did the premiere, I never, one of my favorite moments, I remember showing up to the premiere, the press didn't really know who I was, so they was barely interviewing me. And as soon as that movie ended and I walked into the lobby, my team will tell you this, we actually talk about this all the time, and I was bum rushed in the lobby. Like security had to walk me out the theater. And I'm like, what's gonna happen? Right? You know what I mean? Like, what's going, like, it's the craziest that's why, like, look, I've seen comedians do a lot of things, and I got a lot of friends who's in a bunch of movies. Man, to do something impactful like a Get Out, man, and to be an integral part of it, that don't happen all the time, man. And what people go around quoting you, and you become memes, and people dress up as you at Halloween. It's crazy. It's like, oh wow, this is a thing, huh? And so, like, as a little kid who dreamed about this, you could not have prepared me. I remember the first time we saw the trailer was me and Tiffany Haddish. We go see. I forgot what movie we went to go see. And we went to the movies and we saw the Get Out trailer. And she crazy. She started like, "That's my friend." Like, oh God.
Right.
But I love her for that though. That's it's very interesting watching people you come up with, everybody come up together. Because when I saw Girls Trip for the first time, I called her. And we had I don't want to sound like I go around crying all the time, but we had a good cry, me and her.
Okay, did you be over here tearing up?
Well, it's just certain moments you can't even help. Like when you think about like how far you come from somewhere, there's only certain people I share those moments with. I don't do that with everybody, but I watch a Girls Trip. I call her like, man, you about to be a superstar, yo. Like, like I can't believe I just saw this. Like you out of here, fam.
And I know your faith is so important, just by knowing you and being around you. And also with Tiffany, it's funny, that's her Get Out. That was her breakout role. She was a scene stealer. And just to, confirm and affirm what that was when you was in that lobby and why you had to get escorted out by security is because you were the scene stealer in that movie, Get Out. Like, it was like that comedic relief on top of your acting skills, you were the breakout star in that film. So
it's very interesting that it happened at the same time. We was doing Carmichael show at the time.
Exactly.
And the way Loretta and David and Gerard and Amber all like showed us love, man. It was even that experience was crazy because once again we were shooting a show, so then we had to Get Out thing happen. Everybody was hyping, and Girls Trip happened.
Yeah.
And just to see like David and Loretta was like our proud parents, like they were really proud of us, and just seeing our ride. It was it's very, now that I talk about it, that was a very interesting time. It was very cool to share that with people who genuinely love you and support you, man. And it was crazy.
Is it true that after that film and the success of it that you didn't have to audition ever?
Yeah, I didn't audition for honestly anything after that. I haven't auditioned for anything in a while. It became offers, and I didn't know that was a thing where people just sit down with you and be like, "Yo, you want to do this?" I'm like, "Yeah." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my agents, oh man, they did a great job especially when I went back to UTA. Josh Katz, shout out to him. Man, they got a book of movies. People don't know that you got a good enough agent. He got a book of movies.
Okay.
Went through the book, and I was like, yeah, I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. And then, yeah, it's crazy. Uncle Drew was the first movie I got that was from the meeting and all that stuff. And that was crazy. Like now that it's been a crazy ride the last let's get out now. 4 years old,
Mm.
4 years old. Man, it's crazy. It changed my life.
When we talk about your career and some of the roles that you chose to take on, all of them, even with Bird Box and even just recently with Judas and the Black Messiah, you are a scene stealer. I feel like in everything that you do. Is that strategic on your part when you read the script? Are you like, I wonder, is it designed to be a scene stealer, the breakout star, or is that just a testament to your talent and how you approach the character to where it just happens that way? You tell me.
I call it the Bernie Mac approach. Because Bernie I don't care if it was a small scene, if it was a big scene, you did not forget. You never, you remember whatever he said, whatever it was. He was such a presence on film. So, once again, I'm a nerd of this, you know what I'm saying? So like, I try to purposely do that. Like, just make sure you remember me. I don't care if it's for whatever time it is. And it's so interesting because like, I've been able to do these very, Juice and the Black Messiah is a great example of me. Like, I wasn't casted. I called. I was like, hey man, I need to be in this movie. You know what I'm saying? The Lucas brothers, Ryan Coogler fam. Y'all gotta, why I'm not in this movie, man? I'm from the West Side of Chicago. I know, like, come on, bro. And they made it happen. And it ended up being something that was really, really integral to the movie. And it was dope. I was like, I got a chance to, I think that's my era. That's the 70s. Like, I'm like, man, the way I look at Juice and the Black Messiah, you may see me go to an award show soon, dressed like I'm in the 70s. Because I feel like that's my look, honestly.
Listen, one of my mottos in life is create, don't wait. And you didn't wait for them to call you to be a part of that film. You chased after that role. I mean, that's commendable in itself that you did that. Talk about that. Like,
Fred Hampton is a very important story. And it's, for me, the way I grew up, my family, I've always heard about Fred Hampton, you know what I'm saying? So it just felt important, and just to be a part of that very special movie, man, it's kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, the movie has opened up Pandora's box where they reinvestigating things, and like, and I like things happening. That was in, shout out to the Lucas brothers, man. Them brothers, they started working. We was doing a sketch series called Friends of the People on True TV. And I remember them researching Fred Hampton. I'm like, why y'all doing all this Fred Hampton research? This was years ago. I'm like, wait, y'all gonna do a movie?
Right.
And I think I was at the crib with Shaka was over there. Like, it's very interesting watching how all this work. And then, like, once again, seeing my friends move in Hollywood like they're doing, it's just so cool to see. I was watching Coming to America, and Jermaine Fowler is one of my good friends, and we all in our group texts is constantly showing each other love, and it's just crazy. I mean, like, I don't know, it's just a lot like me. I mean, I did the Tom and Jerry movie, like to voice Jerry, like I played an angel and a devil, but like I becomes Jerry's voice. It's crazy to me. It's still surreal. Like, yo, did I just do Tom and Jerry? And my kids went to see it at the theaters last week because Georgia, everything open now.
Yeah.
They went to see the movies, and it's so funny. Like, one of their friends was like going crazy, like, "Oh my God, that's your dad!" You know what I mean? They're like, "All right, chill." But yeah, it's very interesting. Like, because with Bad Trip coming out, that's the next film. But like, man, I got Bad Trip, I got Fatherhood, I got Deep Water, I got Free Guy, I got Vacation Friends, I got the game show, I got the sports show. I guess they announced it Monday. It's a lot. I've been doing a lot.
When you heard my introduction, I said the hardest working man in showbiz. I didn't say that just to blow smoke up your ass. I was like, the brother keeps a job. So, I mean, for sure, blessed and highly favored. So, I mean, how do you juggle it all? Because you just mentioned your kids, and I know that you're very, involved in their lives. So from fatherhood and Hollywood, how do you juggle both?
You just don't overthink it, man. You kind of just go with the flow of it. You know what I'm saying? Because, I have them for the summers, and that helps a lot. And just communicating, it's just, I don't know. I honestly don't know how I do it, but
Seriously.
think it's just the love part of it. And my job is pretty open. I mean, until the COVID happened, you know, I could bring them on set. You know, most like with Free Guy, I love about when we did Free Guy, this movie I did with Ryan Reynolds. It was a dad set. Like he had his daughters there, I had my kids, and Sean Levy had his daughter's actually in the movie. It was like a legit dad set. Like I don't know if I've ever seen a dad set before, but I'm like, yo, this is a dad set. We got the kids on set, and they sitting there with their little compacts on and looking at the script and doing all this stuff. It was so much fun too. That was such a Ryan Reynolds is one of my favorite actors of all time. Most people don't know that. So, and even when I say that, I told him, I don't think he believed me. I'm like, bro, you don't even know, man. Like I'm really I was kind of nervous the first day I had to work with him.
Really?
Yeah, man. I love Ryan Reynolds. Like I was like, I remember telling him, man, when you got the stuff for Deadpool, I was like, I knew it, y'all. Told y'all he was a superstar. I told y'all that. So yeah, just to be able to work with him, and you know, I can't wait for people to see that movie too. That one, we had to push so many times. It's so irritating, but I think it's a hard go for May. We'll see.
Your film's about to overlap at this point with the list that you got coming out in 2021 and beyond.
I have a movie coming out almost every month until this year is over. If people don't think I joined something, I'm like, I ain't an Illuminati. I just
really?
You gotta be an Illuminati, man. You doing how you do all that stuff? You know you joined, man. Illuminati. Like what?
Then what does that say about the other people that are booking gigs like that in every month? So what, you the only member in it?
Like everybody always talk about somebody joined. That's how you know you made it. You know you made it when people start saying, yeah, I know he. Yeah, look at this brother doing too. You know, you just can't be black and successful. There got to be something to it. Yeah, why? You know, every time you talk about Jay-Z a billionaire, I know why he'd be, because he sold his soul to the devil. That's why he got $1 billion. I couldn't just work hard for it. Like what you do?
What has been the wildest thing though? It's funny because you are such a recognizable face because of your hard work. When it comes to this fame thing, what has been the wildest thing that has happened to you in regards to like being noticeable and with this this fan life?
I don't know. I mean, like people get kind of weird sometimes. I mean, it's actually funnier with the kids. I think I forgot what I think we was at Knott's Berry Farm.
Okay.
And it was like a group of Asian teenagers. Like a gang of them. I'm like, what was this Asian? And when they saw me, they lost. Now what's fascinating, I don't know what they're gonna recognize me for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they was going crazy. Like, Uncle Drew, stop. I'm like, damn, man, I love Uncle Drew, huh? But you know, but Kyrie has this, you know, as being a basketball player, has this worldwide following. So, you know, it's crazy. I usually don't know. And it's random. People might walk up to me about Insecure. They might walk up to me about Get Out. They might walk up to me about, you know, all these different things. You know what I'm saying? But The Shot, like it is so the South Side or Carmichael show, or even, you know, I still get a lot of love for Rel, and it's a lot. Like I was literally looking at my IDM, whatever IDM,
IMDb. I got you.
Your credits. Right. And I was looking like, damn, I did a lot. You know what I mean? Like I did a lot. I mean, which is one of the things where, like, you know, I just recorded my stand-up album. I did a stand-up album in Nashville. Because then I've been feeling a certain way about that too, because I feel like I've done a lot. And even in the stand-up where I've done a lot. Mm-hmm. Nobody ever put me on the list with the comics. And it's annoying me a little bit, right? Because I'm like, this is how I got here because of stand-up. I had to be really good at it. Yeah. And I'm like, you know something? I'm going to do an album. Y'all going to have to listen to this greatness. Ain't no distraction.
Right.
And I just recorded it. I think it's probably some of my best work. But, you know, when I look at all the comedians I look up to, I'm like, why am I not in the discussion? It's like being one of the best. And I'm not like that, but it's like, I did a lot in 4 years. I was like, man, wait a minute. Maybe this need to have some more talks about me, damn it. You know,
I gotta fight every day just to prove my love, just to prove it.
That's crazy though. Like it's very interesting though. I've always wondered about that because I'm like, wait a minute, I had a sitcom named after me that I wrote, produced. I was on it. couple hit shows. I was in an Oscar-nominated movie. I did all this stuff. I did an HBO special.
Very funny. Do you feel you don't get the respect you deserve? Is that what you're feeling right now? Is that you still have to fight for that respect?
You know, because everybody like, oh, really, you are respected. But then at the same time, I don't know. I think people, I don't know if I made it look easy or something, but I think they take it for granted of what I'm doing. It is very strategic. Like it's everything I do is it's a well thought out thing. And I'm like, all right, this is why I pick certain movies. This is why I pick certain television shows. This is why I do the guest spots here. This is why I did my special at HBO, not Netflix. This is why I did, like everything is a move for me. And you know, it's like, dang, ain't nobody really paying attention. I mean, even just investing into Quelly TV, you know, a black-owned streaming service owned by this black woman. I guess it's two things. I don't mind it, but then at the same time, it's just one day I got irritated. Like, wait a minute. I think I was reading about somebody else. Like, wait a minute. If I just acting like what I'm doing is just like whatever, right? Oh, come on.
Wow. I mean, it's true. I understand your frustration where it's coming from. Because you're not.
I'm not necessarily frustrated. It's just I love this business so much, and I'm such a nerd of it. And I'm like, wait a minute. If I didn't know me and I knew somebody like me, and this dude did all this stuff, why wouldn't we be like, hey man, this brother, or be praising that? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
Well, you're not new to this. You know, it's one of my favorite sayings. You're not new to this. You're true to this. And one thing about this show, again, is I want to, you know, inspire people to keep going. And I know throughout your journey that you dealt with some bump in the roads prior to the last 4 years where you've been consistently killing it. So what would you say is the biggest obstacle you overcame for you to get here? Because I had people here was like, I've been homeless before. I only had $200 to my name. I slept on trains and it happened for me. So what was it for you, the biggest bump you had to overcome?
Well, this is the thing about it, right? I started this like 18, 19, so I ain't had nothing. So everything I've obtained is through this, you know? So I don't even look at it like bumps, you know what I'm saying? Like those days where like I just lived with 2 other comedians and it was fun. We didn't have anything. We like had to buy a pan of wings. We had no money, you know what I mean? Like, but we was all invested into the same dream, you know what I'm saying? And you just think about all the people that invested into me and just, it's all a part of the game, you know what I'm saying? It's all a part of it. I think what I had to learn to deal with, and it's just real talk, is, you know, when I still deal with this now, to be honest with you, it's just moments where, you know, it's certain people not here to share it with you. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, I know losing my mom, I have moments a lot of the times where I have to kick people out of my dressing room and I don't know when it's going to happen. Actually, sometimes I'll be like, damn, all right, I wish you was here to see this. You know what I'm saying? Because and it's so weird sometimes in a weird way, especially when I'm performing on stage. If I'm impersonating her, because sometimes I'll do her and then I'll stop and it takes everything in me not to get emotional, even though the crowd is like, you had all this, the roars happen and just, you have that moment of like, I really miss this lady. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus. And so I have moments sometimes where I see her out there. Like I'll be standing somewhere, like, okay. So, you know, that to me, that those moments be tough sometimes, you know, just because you like, dang, that was the one person that genuinely for real mess with me like that. Outside my kids, you know, that's a good thing about having kids. Like your kids gonna love you unconditionally. That's the closest thing you'll get to your mother's love is really having children, especially daughters, like daughters and dads. You know, the way Brittany, you know, just, you know, what is weird too, because Brittany, she is a daddy's little girl, but she's becoming a teenager, so she, you know, she don't really want to be bothered sometimes. So that's happening. It's like, all right, I'm leave you alone. She be that way. But at the same time, she's very comforting, right? She knows when I'm feeling a certain way. She knows how to speak to me. So it's just, but that's, if anything, it was a bump in the road dealing with that and dealing with my emotions, right? I had to do comedy and probably the most hurtful time, because that's how I made my money. So it was like a mental thing. I went through a lot, kind of, you know, I feel like I spiraled a little bit, but then I got back, you know what I'm saying? But that was tough. And it was because I had to be funny when I wasn't happy. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I still got to make these people laugh, and I'm sad inside. You know, and I see that happen to a lot of artists, actually. I think they just don't take time to mourn. You know, the business make you perform constantly, and you don't take time to mourn. I always say that about like Kanye's. You know, I think I
Mm-hmm.
just think I don't know if that brother really had a lot of time to like take in the severity of what happened, and the business don't give you time.
Mm. You have to give yourself time. Did you give yourself time? Because we see the work ethic. So did you give yourself time to mourn?
Yeah, I did. I eventually did, and
And what did that look like for you? What did morning look like for you?
it's just it's being okay with being sad. You know, I think sometimes we're scared to be sad, right? Like, no, I'm supposed to keep on keeping on, but like, fam, it's okay to be sad. Like, because you're not gonna. That's good. As long as you live, you're gonna think about that moment. That's who you're gonna miss. It's just gonna be what it is. It's never gonna go away.
Yeah.
But you learn to embrace it too. And I think, my faith is a big part of that. Is just, when I need a spiritual hug, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But once again, like, I took time, and I think that's one thing I like about living is growing. I enjoy every day figuring out how to be a better person. You know what I'm saying? And that's the cool thing about life. You know what I'm saying? But which is why, like, I try my best to be as honest as I am to people, because you never know who you want to inspire. That's why, like, the episode I did a reel about my mom, I knew I was going to do that episode before I ever had a show. I was like, I have a show. I'm doing an episode dedicated to her and talking about the pain part, getting therapy. Like, it was interesting talking about that. And still one of my favorite episodes of TV is that, and it was so real. And shouts out to Vanessa Bell Calloway, who that was like one of the toughest weeks of my life, because I relived everything, and it was crazy. I almost lost. I ain't lose my mind, but you kind of go back into a place you went away from. It's like, oh damn, so it's like me on set emotion. But Vanessa Bell Calloway was such a mom to me, and I appreciate her. And my son played the little version of me, and real moment. It was just this full circle moment that I I watch it maybe once a month, that episode, just because it's just, to me, it's the most beautiful thing I could have did ever. One of the things, because I think it's one more thing I want to do that's based off her life, and it's going to be dedicated to her. Miss Nancy Howard was a special woman, but more or less anything, she believed in me like nobody else. And so that's what I'm saying. You had that moment where, like, dang, that's why I want to fly here, or you're doing stuff with people, you find yourself doing all this stuff, and it's like, dang, this is why I would have. My dad is, dope, is in our life, and I love my dad too, but mama different, man. Sometimes I'm just, what I mean, mama different. And dad cool, like dad just gets there like, I mean, this is good, him watching me on screen, which has made me happy too, is just watching stuff with my dad sometimes, which he thinks Uncle Drew is better than Get Out. That's that brother's opinion. I don't know what, like, what? Like, this Uncle Drew is way better to Get Out.
Yeah.
What? Why? Why is that Get Out? That ain't nothing. That we all been. We know that's happening.
Yes.
Uncle Drew, them old man playing basketball was amazing.
Yes. Yes. What's the best advice your mother has ever given you that stood with you?
It's not necessarily advice. It was certain moments.
Yeah.
We used to go to Bennigan's. I went to a school called Providence St. Mel in Chicago. It was a black private school, all black private school, amazing school. When I first got there, I was having a hard time, right? It's next level. It's not like the public school I went to, which I was just flying, breezing through everything, getting straight A's. But this private school felt like I was in college. We had to do more of this. It was just a lot more. And I felt the pressure of her, and she saw that. So then what she started doing is we would meet at Bennigan's on Friday, after school, after she get off work. And we would just talk. She would just let me vent whatever I need to vent. And my grades got better because she just let me talk. And I was able to tell, like, I'm really stressed out. I don't know. This seems like it's too much for me. But it's just her like, nah, you'll get it. You just, you gotta keep working at it. Just keep working. You got it. You find your own pacing. But for her to listen to me every Friday was such a beautiful thing. And then, like, she just believed on another level. Like, she truly supported me. Like, when I first started doing stand-up, everybody's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? But she was like, yo, if this is what you want to do, I got you. And she was very supportive. And You know, I mean, my first comic view, that's what BET didn't pay for your flights and all that. You had to do everything on your own.
Oh shit. Okay.
So like, you know, D-Ray got my flight for me because I used to work for him at Riddle's Comedy Club. So I used to go up every week, but I also used to like seat people just for stage time. Yeah. It was so funny. A lot of comedians gave me flack for that. They're like, why would you do that? That ain't embarrassing seating people and then going up. Like, nah, I get a chance to go up at the hottest spot every week and I get $50. So I don't think it's stupid. But you know, she paid for my hotel and all that stuff. And I remember her like hugging me at the airport. She's always be so emotional about everything. Yes. But you know, her listening to me and letting me know to be myself was a huge part of how I grew up, is being comfortable in my own skin. And that's because of her. Like I was a nerd, but like if you told me I look like the way I look now is how I always looked in my head. Like, you know what I mean? Like I look exactly how I wanted to look. Like when I was like, I'm in 6th grade, like I know I'm gonna give me a beard, I'm gonna have some glasses. Like I look exactly how I wanted to look as a grown man. I look exactly how I pictured myself. It's really weird, actually, when I think about it. Like I'm like a little kid. Like I'm gonna wait till I grow up my beard. I'm gonna have a lot of glasses and my earrings, man. With my chain. Ooh, I'm gonna be cool, man.
That reminds me of a Jay-Z lyric. What'd he say? Ain't nobody built like you. You designed yourself. You literally designed yourself.
I look exactly how I thought I was gonna look when I was a kid. It's really weird too. Cause I tell people, like, especially once I got the grade, cause I couldn't wait to get my grades. Like, it's weird. I'm a weirdo, right? But I like, I look exactly I thought I was gonna look.
You was a visionary early on. Look at that.
Watch how cool I look when I'm like 40-something. It'll be crazy.
Now, before you go, I do want to play this little game with you called Confessionals, where I just ask like one question, well, like 5 questions, and it usually warrants like 1-word answers, something like that. Ooh. So you ready?
Yep.
All right. Give me your top 5 favorite comedians of all time.
Ooh, that's a good one. Eddie Murphy. Of course. Richard Pryor. Moms Mabley.
Wow. Bernie Mac.
Damn, that's a tough one. I'm gonna have to say JB Smooth, and I know that's random. And then just a bonus one be Robin Harris.
Robin Harris from House Party.
Man, another scene stealer, right? That brother would just, even when you watch Mo Better Blues and it's just him doing that set, and then him roasting them at the little party they did afterwards. It's just like, he tell Wesley Snipes' hair like a question mark. Like, it's just so, like, but that's the school I'm from. That Bernie, that Robin Harris. Just another bonus person, and it's like an actor or comedian, because I have an actor comedian list too, right? I got my stand-up list, and then I got my actor comedian. My actor comedian list is different. It's Eddie Murphy, Robin Williams, okay, which he's so brilliant. I just watched this documentary recently too, the newer one, about what was going on with him, and it's like, damn, that's crazy. But Robin Williams, Eddie Murphy, who else? Martin Lawrence. Who is another actor, comedian I love? Brilliant, and nobody brings her up. Marsha Warfield.
Okay, yeah, that's old school. Marsha Warfield.
Brilliant. And then, you got Marla Gibbs. Ooh, honestly, it's so many. I don't even know I don't even know why I put myself in that rabbit hole.
I know. I was like, you threw it out there, so I'll take it. Okay, what is Lil Rel's dream role? Because damn it, you in a lot of films. Did your dream role yet? If not, what would it be?
The dream role is to play a bad guy next.
How bad? Because you were bad at Judas. You killed people.
See, it's so funny. I want to go even darker than that. Like, I want the audience to be in shock. Like, because usually when you play a hero a lot, when you do a bad guy role, it just messes everybody's head up. And I want to see what, just how far can I go? Because it's with me, when I do a lot of these roles, I do take on the world of it. You know what I mean? Like when we did Bird Box, because of the way that character was, he's very to himself, he's really insecure, but he's really, I became dude, and I became weird for like a month. I was like a weirdo. I was going out like looking at people being weird. It was just weird because I fell into whatever that world is, and I've done it a few times where like I fell into whatever that world is of it. So I want to go to a world where like it's dark, like, and I'm like, damn, nobody expects me to be. I want to see if I can do it, like, you know what I mean? Like, what would that take? You know what I mean? How do you get that? You know, that Denzel training day. You know, you like going there, fam. That's what I want to do.
That's that method acting. Where did you train?
Nowhere.
All right. Okay, that's what I thought. Just natural. Okay.
Never. You know what's funny? My training was those church plays I used to do when I first started comedy. When I was a new comic, and I used to do like these little gospel plays. The rehearsals was so intense. It was like being in an acting class. You know, so shout out to John Ruffin, man. I honestly appreciate that. But yeah, it was doing those plays early in my comedy career. The rehearsals was so intense. It was like go to acting school. So yeah, I never took any classes, anything like that. It's kind of just been like it's. I look at my son; he's like that too. It's just a natural. You know, if you watch something enough and you really watch it like some lunatic and you repeating everything, you basically putting yourself through school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you studied it. Yeah, by watching it. What would you say is your dream collaboration? Because, you know, you and Tiffany, you guys work so well together, and, you know, but who would it be for you that would be a dream to star alongside with?
Eddie Murphy.
Okay, come on, speak it into existence, because, you know, Megan Thee Stallion said Beyonce, and years later we got Savage. So
it's Eddie. Eddie is, I believe, and it's been close a couple times, actually. But it's time. I think it'll be nice to do something that has life energy to it, because I love that movie. I think that's one of the most underrated films done is Life, with him and Martin and all those great guys and Bernie and everybody. It was so good. But yeah, something where we show our range, like where we're really funny, but you know, maybe doing some characters, maybe like just really have some fun with it. You know, Eddie's the last of the greats I don't know. I haven't had a conversation with yet. I've talked to Damon, I've talked to Robert, I've talked to Keenan, and it's just a few cats, you know, even like Sid, that I've gotten to know over the years, Bill Bellamy. These are like people I can just call and talk to about anything. Eddie's the last one. Like Eddie is the greatest influence on my career. And I just want to talk to him. I just want to sit down and just rap with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What would you ask him? Give me one question. What would you say?
Well, you know what's crazy? He's answered a lot of the questions in interviews. Like, I mean, look, I don't tell people maybe I am a little obsessed a little bit with Eddie Murphy.
You're supposed to be.
I watch everything. I was watching interviews recently because it's something I've never understood about these award shows, right? Where people think comedy is so easy. They just think it's easy, right? So you always bypass, the comedic genius of comedic roles.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy in Nutty Professor, the first one, should have got an Oscar for Best Actor. I don't care if you hated the movie. The brother played 6 people at the same table. Then at the end of the movie, he had a whole argument with himself. What? Like, come on, man. And I saw him recently talk about that. He's like, well, I paid, the Dream Girls road. He was like, he made that face. Oh, well, he made that face with the drug. Oh, that face. He's like, well, damn it, I played 6 people. He said, that was hard. But that's one of the things I just love to just rap with him about. I actually just listened to Kevin Hart's podcast with Eddie and Arsenio, and I just want to rap with them, man. Like, I feel like, once again, I didn't talk to, like, it's so, when I think about it, it drives me crazy. I've talked to I've met all my heroes.
I know.
But Eddie Murphy, his kids and came to tape us up the show. Why ain't met Eddie Murphy yet?
Why you ain't slid the number to the kids? Like, tell your daddy to call me.
I met Nicole Murphy. Why ain't met Eddie yet? I met all the Murphys. Because even Charlie, man, God rest his soul, was one of my homies.
Wow.
Charlie was one of the homies. Charlie, I'll never forget, right? Because he didn't know who I was. He was hosting this, it was a stand-up series that used to come on some random channel, and Charlie was the guest host.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, man, I hope you do good. You know, because he knew who I was. And I had a really good set. And he said, hey, man, come talk to me, man. And we talked for like 4 hours. He was just telling hella stories. At the time, their uncle was still alive. Uncle Ray, he was on Arsenio one time dancing. But he was and just Charlie just going on. And then after that, me and Charlie was cool. Like I literally, we'll go to dinner if I'm in New York and he was doing something. Like he took me to this Indian spot. I don't eat spicy food like that. He's like, yeah, you should order that. And I'm like, all right. And I ordered it, and like my mouth started burning. He was like crying, laughing. You man about to die, man. Spicy, ain't it? Should have asked questions, man. You ain't see the fire next to it? They don't put nothing on the menu with fire next to it. Ain't gonna be hot.
Good impersonation.
That's so funny, man. Hey, Rel, what's up, man? You good? Nah. I love everybody, man. They like I remember everybody came to Eddie's house begging for help.
Well, listen, it sounds like it's destined to happen. So we're going to get there. I see it happening for you. You and Eddie linking up, even if it's a conversation, but even bigger with the way your career is going, it's very possible that you two will be working together. I hope that happens for you.
I do too. I truly want to work with Eddie Murphy. Like it is inevitable that happens.
Now, for the young men out there, or even women that's aspiring to do what you do, what would you tell them as far as advice that you would give?
Well, the biggest advice is to find your own voice, right? Figure out what that is. Don't chase trying to be like whatever looks hot right now. That find your own voice. Be yourself. Be yourself. And until like more or less people of color, like, man, own your blackness, man. We are amazing. We dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't run away from it.
Yeah.
Ain't no reason to be code switching no more. It's not when they trying to sound like us and get braids and all types of crap. I was like, why?
The code switching is over. If anything, they code switching.
Exactly, man. Let's be done with that. Like, you're black, you're beautiful, you're educated.
Yeah.
You don't have to. Please.
Be yourself.
Be yourself. That's really that. Being yourself, it goes a long way. Be yourself, and so be kind with who you work with. You know what I mean? Be kind with who you work with. I know everybody ain't perfect, but you never know who's gonna be what. Mm-hmm. That person, you be like, you ain't gonna be nothing, and they be like, okay. And they turn out to be like Will Packer. You be like, oh damn, he in charge of everything. That was he got cursed out, right? Damn, he in charge of everything now.
Wondering why you got that pink slip. Damn it, man. I remember what I said in 08.
But nothing since then, since he's been in control.
Well, listen, Rel, when it's all said and done, how would you like to be remembered?
I mean, honestly, I do want to go down as one of the best to do this. I mean, it's just, I know it's weird to say that, but it's not. I think I've worked really hard to become that, to be, at one point I wanted to become my heroes. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm doing that. Once I started seeing other comedians say they started because of me, that's when I'm like, damn, that's just okay. I embrace that. I like, that's dope. You know what I mean? That's why I do this. I started comedy because of you. Like, for real? Okay. What's up? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I just wanted to be known as one of the greatest to do this. Message is the honest God truth. You always want to hope you can hear it before anything happens to you. But life is short. So I just want to be remembered as one of the greats to do this. Straight up.
Well, look, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for this interview. I don't know. I was going to say if you want to tell the people to check out what, but you really have so many projects. But March 26th.
Bad Trip. Netflix. Watch it. Prank movie. These are real people. These are real pranks. These are real reactions. It's the craziest thing I've ever done, but it's probably the funniest movie I've ever done, actually. So go. Ooh, it takes you on a ride. It's a good one. It's when you pranking black people, boy. Ooh.
So is the premise of this movie movie isn't like a punk-ish film?
No, it's no, not necessarily. So our characters are who we are. Like we are the characters. The people just don't know they're in the movie. They don't know what's happening. They don't know all this is a part of, like, you know what I mean? They have no idea. And that's what makes it so interesting of a concept. I mean, you know, you see people like Sacha Baron Cohen do with Borat and things like that. I think Eric Andre just leveled it up a bit. Eric wrote, you know what I'm saying, produced the movie too. And, you know, that dude is crazy. And but to bring people, we were just talking about this in the interview though, but like, I think we did a great job of bringing people within our world. Like you got, I'm not gonna say nothing. Just watch the movie, and after the movie come out, I'll talk more in depth about certain things because those people make the movie. Like we basically reacted to them, and we'll still be able to still have the heart we needed in there, the story, everything. Like Eric Andre is brilliant for doing that, man. And shout out to our director Ketal and. Because we did this with the Jackass people too, so like it's a lot of there's a lot going on, man. But you know, will I do a prank movie again? I don't know. I don't really need to, because it's a lot. It is. You don't know what's going to happen. The first day of shooting, we almost got killed. The first day, I remember I walked off set. I started taking my stuff off. Like I quit. Like
I like my life. I'm trying to live.
Damn it, this is not what I signed up for, to be murdered. You know what I mean? So like, it got crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of crazy moments, but it was really fun to do. But it was insane.
Oh, now I'm geeked to watch it. I'm sure everyone listening right now is too. March 26th, Bad Trip. Eric Andre, Tiffany Haddish, Lil Rel. Y'all better go check it out. And again, Rel, thank you so much for being here. And God bless and good luck with everything.
No, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And you coming back because you got to tell us more about Bad Trip after we watch it.
Yeah, look, whenever you want to talk to me, you can. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You hit me up anytime.
And I might, and I will.